you listen to all these dirty preachings on television. Tithe is not important. I don't know if you have listened. Some of you follow the teachers. I'll show you something today. When you don't tithe, you risk your life. It's a lie. When you are not a tither, any attack on you can take your life. It's a lie. The first thing tithing does is to protect your life.
Well done, insurance company. How much did you pay for Jesus to die?
There's a man who sold his property. He did not tithe. He doesn't believe in tithe. He doesn't pay tithe. Small fever for 4 days, it was gone. It's a lie.
I think many people don't realize that in as much as the Bible wants us to be aware of false preachers today, as it's something that's quite trending now, a more important warning is actually given to us to beware of false teachings, because false preachers are not harmful until they start ditching out their false teachings. That's why Jesus didn't say, beware of the Pharisees. He said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. So you can walk around with that Pharisee in the scripture and he won't harm you. You won't have anything to be aware of him until he opens his mouth and starts speaking, not just anything, but the false doctrine. And that's what Jesus wants his disciples to be aware of.
He says, we have turned Christianity into a joke.
People have turned Christianity to a joke.
That's a laugh. We turned Christianity into a joke. Some of you said if you don't pay tithe, you will not make heaven. You didn't turn Christianity to a mockery and a joke.
Anyone who is not paying his tithe is not going to heaven. Full stop.
I believe one of the reasons why it's rather easy for us to focus on the false teachers rather than false teachings is because it endorses our laziness to actually go out of our way and study scriptures for ourselves. So we, just like the people of the world, believers, we just want that you tell us that this person is a good guy, and we take whatever he says and never investigating or verifying any of it, and also tell us that this guy is the bad guy, and we just condemn everything he says without actually verifying it. And that's a very dangerous premise, because instead of judging people by what they say, we are judging them for who they are. And that's why you see things in politics where they can treat a certain candidate, not what they have said, not what they have done, but their personality as a very horrible person. Now, they may not have any problem with the things he has done. As a matter of fact, the things that he wants to do might even benefit them. But the programming is to go after people, not after their leaven. But Jesus says, beware of the leaven, the acts, the words, and not the people. The biggest danger of taking this line of thinking is that we fail to realize that God can actually speak with anyone. Even an unbeliever can be God's mouthpiece to point out the wrongs in his church so that we can take appropriate actions for correction. But once we have been groomed to believe that this particular person is bad and so we must never listen to whatever they have to say, then we are on dangerous waters. And that's a problem with so many believers who think an unbeliever cannot advise them. So whatever an unbeliever says is because they are unbelievers, so it must be bad. And take the homework from this and start being responsible, not just as a Christian, but even as an individual, to judge people by their leavens, what they say and what they do, and not by their character that has been painted to you, whereas by the popular opinions of people in the church or even in the media, but exactly what they did and what they said that you actually have the evidence for. And as far as concerning scripture, you verify that with the scripture, because even the worst Pharisee can actually say something that glorifies Christ, and even the most pious apostle, even like Apostle Peter, can still make a mistake, of which following them on that particular point simply because they have been painted as the good person can actually lead you astray.